I revere this office, but I love my country more.
Hi, this is Colorful Foresight, where we intuitively connect from within. And it's Woo Woo time, where we connect our woo woo into our mundane living. Hi, this is Sylvia of Colorful Foresight. How are you? I got to go on Linda G channel, Linda Grindel, Comanche Psychic. I actually emailed her and asked, and she said, yeah, just come on my channel. So she created her YouTube 2018, and I've been watching since. And ever since then, there have been other awesome political psychic readers. A lot of time you can see it on her channel. She had a lot of guests on, and you just go from there. And so I downloaded from her channel that video. Also, I noticed I learned a lot from doing that. First of all, I was talking very fast. I was nervous, and I had this thing where I had a list of things. And so it seems like on a video I'm talking about random things. Like I go from politics to talking about country music to this and that. It's because I had this list in front of me and I wanted to get it out. And I learned to next time to take it easy and focus and just go with the flow. But it's a learning curve, right, to it. So I'm going to show it to you and then talk in between. So here's the Linda G channel, Linda Grindel, Comanche Psychic.
Hi, everybody. So today I'm doing Sylvia, Colorful Foresight. How did you come up with that name, Colorful Foresight?
I think because I have that, my spirit is that way, but my personality is not so colorful. They'll think like the negative stuff. So it's like the YouTube channel, it's not, you know how like some people like, oh, I have so much to say. Where it's more like, oh, I feel to do this, but I have to remember, I have to be on a brighter side.
Yeah.
Because I could go there too. You know what I mean? I could go like negative. So Colorful Foresight is always a reminder to me, oh, you know, kind of like you hand it over. You always, even I had a private reading with Linda recently, and you know, she always tells us hand it over. So part of handing over is you know, remembering the colorful side to things in the midst of like a very challenging time.
Yeah.
You know, so my channel basically is all about intuition, nothing new. But what I like to tell people is that even though certain people seem like they're more psychic or they're more inclined, like Linda G, for example, or they have people like myself who worked at it, everybody has it. So they don't get over that whole idea I can't be intuitive, psychic, or anything like that, because you have it anyway. It's in everybody.
Right.
And whether you use it for good and bad. I mean, cops have hunch, right? Business people have gut feeling. So that's the big one. So I do mostly just intuitive stuff, current event, and some politics. So what they're telling me to do, because there's so many of people like yourself and so many YouTubers doing politics, they want me to focus more on Joe Biden, like once a week or something. Because
Good.
like you said, everybody that I like hearing about, you know, the former guy and all this, because it helped my fight or flight system. We want to stay safe. And then once I talk about Joe Biden, everybody goes to sleep because he's so, you know, because he's so calm and boring. So they want, because I was doing some politics before, but then I stopped doing that. They're like, no, you got to focus on that because we're nurturing all the stuff you've been doing for 7 years. It had to be that way. It had to be where we had to tell, you know, like we had to show the bad. The fact is, now we can see it so good that they can't hide. You know what I mean? Because before we were like so surprised, but now we see it so much. That's why like everything the former guy says something, he's doing it. It's like everything he does, and he complains about other people, he's doing it. QAnon and all that, they're pointing the fingers because they're doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now everybody's seeing them. Well, not everybody, obviously, because there's a lot of people who are clueless. But they're like focused on Joe Biden. So every time I do a topic like that, it's like nobody cares because it's too calm. But that is something we gotta nurture.
Well, one of the things that happened to me when they told me I was going to do a YouTube channel, which I absolutely did not want to do.
Yeah.
And as I was refusing, the man said to me, "You will help calm them down."
Oh, yeah.
So I talk about the other person because I keep reminding people, don't worry, this too shall pass. And
Oh.
every once in a while, they give me nuggets. Like they told me the judge was going to ask the jury to leave. No other psychic said that. But
Yeah.
but they gave that to me. It's not from me, it's from them. Because
No,
I've
but that's,
got a
I've
connection.
been watching you since you were introduced from Kirsten. So
Oh my God, so you saw the one I told everybody there was going to be a virus.
yeah, 2017 to 18. So I've been with you for a long time. I was telling Linda G beforehand, I keep forgetting you don't know me, and I know you, and I'm talking to you as if I know you, as you know me. But no, I needed to hear all this. I still do. I
Yeah,
still need to hear everything. But you guys are already doing that. So I don't
but
need
I
to
really love the fact that you're focusing in on Hunter, President Biden, but
And Joe Biden had that effect. He's been able to work a lot with bipartisanship, considering what is given to him with the MAGA Congress. And he was almost able, he created the border deal. It's just because the former guy blocked it. He had the infrastructure deal, the microchip. I mean, these have to be bipartisanship agreement, especially in the House and the Senate and all that. So he had the ability. It makes him really way better than the former guy.
so, have you taken a look-see at Hunter?
on who?
Hunter Biden?
Oh, well, what do you want to know specifically
Well,
about him?
he's in trial for the gun charges now. Is there anything that's going to come out of that?
I would say it's like a nothing burger, like I do
Okay.
say. It's not my word, it's you. It's another distraction method. That's all it is. But I mean, we know he has stuff, but they try and make it like,
Oh, yes,
oh,
yes.
yeah. So it's one of those things that, and after they're not gonna bother him after this one for some reason, because I feel like the energy is changing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, it's funny. You don't remember, but my private reading with you, and I'm in Queens, New York, and I'm like, I'm like really the few Democrat in my family, and I have a huge family. And you're like, really in Queens? I go, just because it's New York. Most of my relatives are Republican. But they're not the hillbilly Republican. They get shots and things like that. But so I'm seeing some of them starting to go, yeah, you know what? I don't like Trump or Biden. And I'm like, I'm still voting for Biden. And then I got some like saying, well, after January 6th, but then some are like, because they're too busy working, they don't watch Midas Touch and things like that. And Fox News don't tell them the truth. So, and also we know both sides are not innocent, but we're focused on the bigger picture. The bigger picture is the preventing enlightenment. So we're going to the golden age. So the reason why all this is happening, first of all, bad things happen since the beginning of time, so it's nothing new. Right? But particularly at this time, it has to do with enlightenment. That's why your guys, they tell you, knock it off, Linda, knock it off about.
Yeah, when I told everybody I had to get off the Trump train.
Yeah.
And everybody was mad at me. They were like, how could you? He's this. But the guys were saying, what we're doing, but this focus on him too much is we put ourselves in a state of resistance.
State of resistance. It's something that I feel it's the higher divine being that can help us. We cannot will it, try it. Our brain is wired a certain way. So something divine that's gonna help us to be more into acceptance, trust. A lot of time we change through something calamity, like weather changes or something traumatic. Even like what happened with this sudden shift with Joe Biden handing over to Kamala now versus later. But I always ask the divine, how human beings are. Can we is there a way you could utilize your shift to transform enlightenment without needing all that sudden thing or major trauma to change human being mind. You know, that the old story we hear all the time, like cleaning out humanity, right? Cleaning out the sin of humanity. So Noah, the ark, we're told by God, we're going to start over fresh. They'll create the boat and put two of all kind of animals, and we're going to start fresh. So I don't know, maybe it's my fear, my ego wants to change how things are done. But I'm like, if they're the most benevolent, help us to get the continual download. Now I'm going off a tangent, but that's like my new agey woo-woo side. Woo-woo.
And we're not in love and light. And first of all, we're not love and light because by nature, we have the one mind that is like contaminated. You know, we're programmed. So we're not all pure. We have the devil on the shoulder, and they got they're reminding us that, remember, we had past lives. So you think we had all great past lives? So who are we to judge? And the only reason why I could agree with Linda is because I belong in this program, and it's about enlightenment from 2024 on for everybody, not just for the few people, not for the special, you know, and that's why all of this is happening. You know, focusing on the negative. So they keep telling me, like, start saying good news, but people sleep on good news. They like the drama. And listen, I like it too, because it makes me feel safe. When I listen to you and the light, it makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
But then I forget,
Even
like,
when I have to tell people it's going to be some of the worst hurricanes and tornadoes and floods going, we've got a lot of vibrational changes taking place.
yeah. And speaking of vibrational, you know, just to let you know, because there are so many groups out there, so it's not about promoting. But what I do is sometimes this particular group is working with the Golden Age movement, and they're this leader, and he'll go, okay, Japan's going to get hit really bad with tsunami, you know, or some kind of natural disaster. So they have a bunch of people in Japan pray, and it's not at, what happened is there was still a flood, but not to that level. So, you know, when you do your prayer thing once a week, it doesn't matter. There's so many different groups out there that doing stuff. It doesn't matter. And also, even though you always say to us, I'm only reading the energy in the moment. The only reason why I do some prediction is so that people are like, oh, she was right.
Yeah. And then
But
that gives them
really,
space. Yeah.
right. But in actuality, we're really actually creating in the moment. Because that's why we all could see. Most of us are seeing, and we're hearing something from you and the likes, and it's just validating what we're feeling. So we're seeing, but we're not really supposed to be a stayer, so to speak. Maybe some people are stayers because that's their role, but we're seeing in a moment, we're creating, and we're forgetting that when we watch psychics and things like that. I think in a reading, you were telling me why some people look up to Trump, because they see him like some, meanwhile, they forget their own power.
Yeah, because he's not any of that. He's a nobody. He's a nothing burger.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
a
and
two-faced con man. He's been that way. Back when he was first running and I had my show just starting, actually he was first president and he was just starting. I had a friend, Joe, in New York. And he said, Linda, I'm going to tell you something right now. Anybody that's anybody knows that guy's a putz. Nobody likes him, not even the mafia.
yeah.
He doesn't pay people. He steals from people. He's got to be the biggest and the best.
Yeah, but he's working with the most manipulative dictators ever. So, you know, we already said that they're the reason why he's here and all that bit. But you know, going back with like why we have to stay on the good news vibe and why we gotta listen when Linda said don't focus on hating on Trump. For example, if I'm not in this group, I'd be like, hell no, I don't want to be praying for this guy. I don't want to be praying for Trump. But they make us pray for the MAGA people. And I'm like, ew, I don't want to pray for them. Not at all. But then they're like, who are you? I mean, again, I mentioned before what past lives we have. Some of these people could get enlightened. Some of them don't even have to be good and do the right thing suddenly. And that had to do with our prayers. By the way, I don't even touch their energy. I just tell the light to touch their energy because they're manipulative. if they pick up on it, they come into play. I just tell the light to pray for them. That's the
So
only reason why I
probably-
do it.
Probably the prayer for that enlightenment, that people will wake up and see. Because
Well,
this
we're
man
praying
is
for-
about as holy roller as a rock. He is not a spiritual man at all.
Who?
Trump.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. Like, why would we pray for the MAGA people? Because why they're any different than us? Maybe out that energy, that light will shift them. You know,
Yeah,
they.
let them see.
I mean,
the
look at
light.
what's the name? The house guy. You know, he
Johnson.
yeah, but he keep doing things that supporting Joe Biden. So who to say that our prayers can't make him, you know what I mean?
I
So
know.
just because he is like working with the so-called devil, it doesn't mean he won't end up doing the right thing somehow.
Going back to being a vessel, like Linda G, even when I'm doing this, a lot of people who think they go on the channel and or create a YouTube channel and we think it's us doing it, but purely we're just a vessel for divine. Even like inventors, even like Tesla and even Joe Biden, anybody really had created powerful books, movies, things like that. They're just a vessel for something higher than them. You know, that's what I feel. So we're just a vessel. And even prayers, I've learned, like after 30 years of being into, I guess, the woo-woo stuff, sometimes healers think it's them, even though we have healing ability. It would be better, especially because you're dealing with energy, you're dealing with karma of people and stuff, to ask the light to take care of it. They will have way more knowledge. If they're very about grace, they would take care. And it's a reminder, you're just a vessel. You're just acting in the divine, because you're the human being, you're the energy. The universe is infinite. So it needs some kind of energy guidance to focus. It's just vast. So if you go, okay, can you please pray for that, to kind of give them that light of focus where they could go to. So you just ask the light, please pray for this, pray for that. And sometimes, not about that, they might shift and become into enlightenment, although they could in a positive way. But that they could get enough transformation where they will do the right thing. Even if they're not a great person, they would just stay. They just suddenly feel guided to do the right thing.
I had the.
So have you been
dream.
feeling like we're gonna get more good news?
I
feel like
do.
we're getting more
I
good news.
do. I'm
know?
also feeling this whole thing with Trump and all of it is about ready within a year or so to be gone.
I revere this
Yeah.
office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division.
Whether it's acceleration, time shift, or just because of interpretation. I feel like it was protection for us for those people not to share the Pacific, because there are people who are not of the light watching some of these political cycles. Also, we can't know ahead of time, because if we knew ahead of time, I would get in the way. I'd be like, how could Joe Biden? I don't want Joe Biden to leave. I want Kamala to come after. It makes sense. Like, we could get in the way. So now we see how good it is. Even though still angry, I said this before at what happened with Joe Biden. In a bigger picture, we're seeing what's happening. Even for him, he can relax now. You know, even with what he's going through, he can relax. He can focus on.
Yeah, yeah, because I think it because it had to do with remember, it could have went the other way. It could have went the other way, and it's still, that's why we got to focus on being that person who would pray for the bad people.
Yeah.
No, well, not pray for them, but we tell the white light, do it, because I can't do it. I'm like, ew.
And listen,
So-
it's no different. I had a reading today with a client, and both her kids have rejected her. They both rejected her. She just stopped giving them money, and all of a sudden they don't want anything to do with her. And I said, let them go. Let them go and pray that they find their way. But they're, even your own children, you can't hold on to them. So their children, all these are God's children. You just
Yeah.
pray and let them, hopefully they find their way.
Yeah. And funny, going back to the good news, I know they're going to sound like I'm jumping from one topic to another, but I never liked country music. So the past 2 weeks, my mother and I have been listening to country music. So and we're both like, why are we listening to it? It's very popular now. I never liked it in the 70s. I didn't like it when popular the last few years, even with Beyonce doing all that. And I was told it's because people want simpler words. They want cleaner words.
Oh.
Even like rock music stuff, they have nice, pretty words. And then you got the real heavy duty stuff. You know what I mean? So the country is more softer, simpler. It's gonna go with good news. I was sharing that I see more certain animals that were extinct, that we thought were extinct, they're coming back. It's not the one that the scientists were working on to preserve and make them stay around. It's because I don't know, the energy of, I don't know if they were always around or they're coming. It's like we're shifting, shifting timeline. I don't understand all that stuff, but that's what we're going to be hearing good news, kind of like the bad news on being replaced. So I hope I'll focus, and maybe for you guys watching, focus on the good news. The bad news is there. We're not saying, spiritual bypass, it's there, but focus on it. That way you notice it more because they're around. It's like Joe Biden, how many accomplishments he has, but we're not paying attention to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the more we pay attention and talk about it, the more it will come to be. So anything else come to your mind?
As far as enlightenment is concerned?
No, as far as like maybe starting 2024, 2025, even with you telling people your job is to help people calm down, that you might find you guys going to starting to share more good news.
Yeah,
not just about
I also feel natural disasters that are kind of going to shift the energy. Don't look at it as bad, look at it as good, a cleansing, so to speak.
And you know what? Even that guy that the organization I'm with, he mentioned that a lot of natural disasters are happening.
Which one? Which guy?
No, the guy that I do call Sriyama Bhagavan. He talked about he could predict. So what you're saying is true. And it could even be like worse. That's why we gotta do our part. Even though we're predicting and we have to play our part to focus on the good news, talk about not just the former guy, but also about Biden. They're the reason I'm mentioning because I could list maybe 5 things that Biden's doing, but we don't really talk about it. You know what I mean? Because we want to feel safe. It had to do with our fight, flight. So we have to talk about all the, and actually we know this, like us as the viewer, but a lot of the general population are finding out what you've been saying 2 years ago. So it's being shown to light. You know what I mean?
Right. But the people like to be in a state of resistance. That's human nature.
Yeah. By the way, I have a video that I did like a year and a half ago. And I did a video, it's like 2 minute video. And I did on you, Mel, and Stone. At the time, I call it timeline, but I think it's the same timeline.
Is it on your page? Is it on your YouTube?
It is. I'll try. Maybe I'll re-upload it.
Yeah,
Under Colorful Foresight, I'll upload it later.
okay.
And what it is,
Let's get started. This is Colorful Foresight, where we truly connect from within. Who was accurate? Which psychic was accurate when it came to predicting when the first vaccination came out in 2020? Because we have Linda G, we have Mel Dorr, and then we have Sterling. And they all talked about it with Linda G. I've been following them for a few years. I'll put in the description below of their YouTube channel. And they're fairly accurate. I would say at least 80%. And that's a lot. So the timeline. Who is the most accurate? I could say it's either Linda G or all. And I'll tell you why. Linda G, I wish I could find the original video, but I can't. So you have to trust me in good faith. Linda G said that it was going to be sometime in the winter of 2021. Mel Dorr said that it was going to be around April of 2021. And Sterling said August of 21. So who's accurate? It's all about how people read the timeline. And sometimes they all could be right. It depends. Well, I say Linda G because it was winter of 2021 when it first was available for certain state and for people over 75. However, it got really quick to April. So that means he was accurate too, where the majority start getting the vaccination, especially people 60, 50, 40 years old and below. And then the majority was really, when it's available in here all over in the U.S. and even around the world, it started to get in August of 2021. So that's how they all could be accurate, even though they all set a different timeline. So either if you say it was Linda G, because she did say winter of 2021, or you could say all, but with a different...
I'm going, well, who was accurate first when it came to the pandemic and the vaccine? And so I showed it, and I said, well, Linda said it's going to be around winter of 2020, 2021. And then Mel said it's going to be April of 2021. And then Solon said August of 2021, like that summer. I said, so who's right? I said, well, depend how you see it. If you're going to say who was right first, it's Linda, because the vaccination did come out the winter of 2021. But Mel was right too, because that time the vaccination in winter 2020 was only for the elderly. It was not for the general.
That's true.
And then April was when it started to be all of USA. So that was right. And then Sterling was right too, because by August 2021, it was all of the US, all over the world. So who was right? So it depends on how you see. It's the same timeline. It's the same timeline. So it's just that you saw it there, Mel saw here, and Sterling saw over here.
Right, but in 2019, right? Also, I was doing a show from Angel Heart, minding my own business.
Oh, I saw that.
And I said, the guide said there's going to be a nasty virus coming out, and everybody was wearing a mask. And I said it, and I didn't go, oh, this is bad. I just kept going with my readings.
Yeah, what I was talking about, the vaccination, not when you put. By the way, when I saw that, I was like, I hope she's wrong. Could I've been watching you for a few years?
I forgot I said it. One of you guys came back and said, Linda, do you realize you said that?
No, but when you said that, I remember being denial, and I was like, she could be wrong about that, because it sounded horrible.
Well, somebody was just talking about psychics and that, the way we work in this energy, time frames are really hard.
Yeah, but that's not something you can even imagine. You know what I mean? It's not. I would imagine even at the intuitive, going back to my channel, being intuitive, which everybody has. Some are better at it because it's in their family line. It's like you, it's in your path. but everybody had to. How do we see the good news and the bad news? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, I have a question, kind of random. You were also one of the earlier ones, I think, but 2 years ago. You were like, oh, they're gonna be, I think, an enzyme or some kind of thing for people to lose weight.
Oh, yeah.
And now you got all this aseptic.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
I'm not on it, but I'm taking berberine with the vitamin, and it does help with appetite. But recently there was the death of that filmmaker, McDonald guy. He the one who exposed about McDonald food. He ate it for
Yeah.
like 30 days, whatever.
Yeah,
He
and
died from cancer.
he was only in his 50s, right?
Right. Morgan Barlock. I feel like this is part of like the time of people being, because you got people started being more conscious in the USA about food, but not quite. Now everybody getting slimmer, or a lot of people getting slimmer, but they're gonna find out that taking shots is not always a great thing too. It could help, but it not help too. So, and then this guy died. I don't feel like it's a mistake. It's gonna be the end of food unconscious, I call it. They're telling me where we're gonna be more mindful about food, especially in the USA. So that's the big
Well,
one.
the
We're not
US
gonna see fat you Americans in the future, not just because of the shot. It's just the consciousness, you know,
Well,
where
I have type 2 diabetes,
right.
and I'm on metformin, and my numbers were going high out of the blue, and they started me on injection. It's not, but it's the same family.
Yeah.
And I've had great success. It really brought down my numbers, but the side effect is you lose weight.
Yeah, I know,
But-
that's good.
But also people are complaining because your fat foods and stuff aren't selling, your sweets and stuff. People aren't eating that as much.
Right, right. Well, that's why they're probably gonna start getting more creative. They're gonna start having healthier ingredients. I think more healthy ingredients. Because if we're saying like we're having good news, then that means they're gonna be a lighter, consciousness. What we want enlightenment, right? Toward that, we're gonna want our politicians gonna do the right thing, whether they're a good person or not, because
Right.
it's part of that golden age thing. It's just pushing them toward it. We could have one of the worst people become the most enlightened. You just don't know.
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. That'll never happen with Trump, but
And
yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it's something where it's gonna be the normal, for all of us. So you don't have to be spiritual. You don't have to be like do kumbaya and all that. It's just happening.
Right. People are waking up, that's for sure. But what I've told people for the past 2 years, and because you watch the show, is that natural phenomena, natural earth changes is really going to bring people together.
Well, yeah, unfortunately.
Definitely volcanic. I don't know if it's in the US or elsewhere, but I see a pretty significant volcano explosion. Definitely tornadoes, which is already happening. I just talked to a lady from Houston, and it was terrible that it wasn't a tornado. It was what do you call them? Durachi, or it was a wind thing, and it tore a lot of places up.
All I see is, 'cause I remember you were on live with somebody's birthday last night, and all of you were predicting. I'm not gonna predict it. If I don't see anything, then I'm just making it up, I could keep seeing a lot of bug issues.
Yeah, that's right.
Insects.
Bugs, insects. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that makes sense with all the, climate change,
Yeah.
the warmer, hot, and and some of them we're getting new kind of bugs because of the melted ice and all that thing.
Ooh. Yeah.
But, they'll be on top of it. I have to stay
Right.
on the grenade, but that's the only thing I see for that one.
But I
Yeah.
just see people very surprised about earth changes. But we're not going to be destroyed. I just see the earth.
I mean, I don't like hearing it because I heard it from this guy too. He meant everything you're saying is true. We're gonna have challenges, and that's why it's important for us to stay on a good vibe, love vibe, or whatever. Otherwise, it's not gonna get better. Our work.
Yeah, and when you're despondent and there's all these things going on, and maybe that's when people wake up and say, 45 is not going to help me with this. We need some, because remember, during COVID, he even decided to screw over Democratic states.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm getting my guys are telling me, for us who already know, we have to step it up. Not so much the other people waking up. They're already doing that. It has to do with why you keep telling us, oh, my guy keep telling me to knock it off.
Yeah,
Because, okay, maybe we expect the others to wake up, or they're seeing through like worse scenarios, but we got to step it up.
yeah,
So that means like all the horrible guys that we're seeing that they do that crappy stuff. I don't know how to detach from them, but I have to say that they too can change
right.
through the light, not through me. I don't have any powers, but that's the only way. So I'm not surprised that you keep getting that message. I'm serious. That's why I'm bringing up for most of this video, because I was told to pray over these MAGA people, and I was like, ew, no way.
No, we got to help them as best as we can, that maybe but it's their free will. That's the whole purpose of being on earth. It's free will.
Yeah. No, but it might make go, oh, okay, I have past lives. Maybe not all of them were great. I had people pray for me. Why can they be prayed for? You know what I mean? And again, they don't even have to be great people. It might just make them do the right thing. That's it. That's all
Right.
we need,
Right.
Yeah.
So do you get any hits on Russia or Putin or anything like that?
The only thing I see is that I don't know how, but Russia's gonna be found out working with other dictators. That's something we know as intuitive, but somehow the collective's gonna pick up that Russia is working with like China and others.
Oh, they've been working, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like they don't know yet. But
Oh.
somehow that we should expect that news. Also, I had a dream. I told you in a private reading, which you don't remember because you read a lot of people. In 2019, I had a dream of Russia attacking the U.S., my brother and stuff in the U.S. So and then I saw Iran behind the scene. So Iran is behind the scene. They were in the alley. So that means we only start hearing about them recently. But in my dream, I didn't really get it. And the music I was hearing was all about Cold War. So if Joe Biden didn't win in 2020, we would be like Ukraine at this time.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a blessing, guys. It's good news. Like, we made it.
Yeah.
We did. We won.
We're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I had a dream. Did you hear my dream that I had the other night?
No, what?
Putin was with me.
What,
And
Putin?
Putin was trying to be my new friend. And he was just charming, and he really wanted me to like him. And I remember standing there thinking, ew.
You're like me. Ew. You know what I think that is?
But
I mean, I think it had to do with our conversation where we're not going to touch his energy because he'd manipulate it as fudge. You know what I mean? You don't want to mess with that. No, that's why I'm like, just give it to the light to pray over that. That is a sign of that they know that people are starting to pray for the bad guys, and he trying to get on your good grace. So it's not going to work. I don't know if that makes sense.
Light on him. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's so much light on them now, the darkness. Now they're trying to figure out how to work with the light. Go, oh, I wanna, get better. I want to be your friend and all that. And what I'm getting is we're not naive about that anymore. So it won't happen. You know what I mean? So that's actually a good sign.
He kept offering me something to drink. Of course, I wasn't going to drink or eat anything he offered.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's like oh, hold on, sorry. It's like there's no way the dark can manipulate anymore. That's what I'm getting. Before they were able to, because a lot of the spiritual people were surprised how dark it was, like how things were dark the past 8 years about a lot of different things. It's like they can't win because we got to see so much.
Yes. That's the truth.
Yeah. So that's a good sign.
Yeah,
That makes sense to you?
that makes total sense.
Okay.
So what other dreams have you had that were significant that you think? I love dreams.
I got that significant, but that it's our responsibility to be in the love vibe. Love vibe.
So
You know what I
important.
mean? Yeah. Because tell you the truth, even though I got that, I'm not feeling loving. So how can I be in a love vibe?
I know what you're talking about, girlfriend. I know exactly. But if you be quiet,
Yeah.
ground yourself, and open yourself up like I do when I go outside, sometimes I even see UFOs. Vibrationally open up that, because it's like we all got this diamond, which is a piece of the omnipresent. Each human is part of the same. And
Right.
you open that up, the vibrational energy you can feel. People find out when they die too. You know, some NDEs have come back and said, oh my God, the love was magnificent. But if you breathe, you have to breathe so you can be conscious. You have to be in complete consciousness. You will feel some of that love.
Yeah. And you know what? And that perfect example, if you're like, I'm not listening to Linda, I'm not listening to Sylvia about praying over those bad guys. If you can't be in a love vibe, if you're not even like giving us a little validity, not us, remember, this guy, like she always said, it's not me, the guy, it's me too.
Yeah.
The guy, how can you be in a love vibe if you won't even think of the idea that maybe you weren't always great? So who would pray for you then?
Yeah.
So that's an example of being a love vibe. And also a lot of spiritual people act like this, so loving and all that, but they're not. Because we have both. We have both. So I don't see anything for Russia. I just see that I know you keep mentioning about Russia. No, that
I'm
was just
feeling the time is coming, girlfriend. I feel Putin's time is coming.
No, but I got that. Yeah, I just
I
got
can
that.
feel it more immediate than any time I felt it before.
But isn't it funny how none of us, except for you, with that, minute vision? Well, there probably people who vision it that nobody really saw the pandemic, because I think you said it was to bring down the former guy that would instant.
Oh my God, people were furious at him. You're losing your loved ones, and he's saying you just need to inject bleach.
Yeah. That's
He's so
crazy.
stupid.
So
But anyway,
just want to bring up before we end the video with your intuition. I know most of you know that you have it, but if you're just sitting here waiting for a Linda or a Kevin or a Mel or a Sterling, or even, all the other, you collab with so many great newcomer YouTubers. Your job is to focus on your own intuition, especially in the world of AI. So can you see how, like, the leader of Russia and the former guy, how they manipulate AI? So don't be like, well, I have to start, try and be intuitive. You already are. So just ask your spirit guide, go, okay, let me be more aware. And then you practice, it gets better.
be in the present. Just be in the present.
And it's very important.
Unfortunately, as we worry about things like what if he gets in office again, which he won't, but even going there, like attracts like, so you have to be careful what you think.
Yeah. Because
Refuse
I
to go there.
love a juicy, I love it when you guys get into the juicy juice, but and then when you have the good news, like you know what I mean? But I feel positive. Maybe that's why now I'm out. I probably couldn't do the video, like do the channel like 3-4 years ago. I wasn't prepared. So
Yeah.
now I can, do more on the good news and actually believe it. Because there'll be a part of me like, yeah, I'll tell good news, but it's full of shit.
There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of people like you. A lot of people.
So now it's like, yeah, I believe it.
So Sylvia, I'll have you're at Colorful Foresight.
Right. I'm at Colorful Foresight. Please subscribe. And also I will do politics once a week, and I do intuitive stuff during the week, but I do a lot of interactive stuff. So it's not just about me talking. It's about you telling me what you see. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because then it's not just like another person who, I feel like somebody like you, Sterling, Mel, who are actually accurate, very important. But then I'm like kind of hitting on everybody else. Everybody else, like, when I used to, in the beginning, when I used to watch you guys, I'd be like, oh my God, I thought that. Oh, that was my
Oh, a lot of
intuition.
people do that.
You know what I mean? And now I can't even like do reading because I watched you guys so much and I need it. I needed to stay calm. And I don't know if it's mine or could I heard it on Sterling or could I heard it on Mel or I heard it on Shari H or all these other people. So maybe that's why it's good for me to focus on Joe Biden because we don't really talk too
Yeah.
much about that.
Do you ever
know?
watch Lena Rodriguez?
Yeah, I watched. You know, at
And
one point or another, I watched all of them, and then my third,
Marianne.
Marianne, those in the beginning, all of them, Kirshen, and then you know all the other one that you've been doing lately. You've been
Andre
collaborating,
Hogarth, yeah.
but they told me to nip it. I had to
Yeah,
shoot
it
like
gets to be
4
so
to 5
much
people.
information. Yeah, I understand what you're
You
talking
know,
about.
then I was just focusing on too much. You know, I kept you though, so that's okay.
Thank you. Yeah, you still subscribe. That was shock yesterday. We were doing a show yesterday and Sherry said YouTube said she couldn't take any more money because she didn't do original material. And she was losing subscribers. So some of the people on the guests that were there looked up my YouTube and
Oh
saw
yeah,
unsubscribe. So you guys check and double check.
yeah. I
Why
wonder what that.
randomly unsubscribe people?
We were making a joke how it because we're talking about Gemini because the person we were celebrating, she's a Gemini. I'm like, YouTube is a Gemini. They want to make money, but at the same time they're unsubscribing people or pissing them off. So where are they?
No, it's so
What do you
weird.
think that's about? I do get it's a glitch, a computer.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing it deliberately.
You know, yeah, me either. Yeah.
So,
So I would love
well,
to, you know, in a few months, if you want to collab with me again, I would love it. if you
yeah,
have
I'll
time.
be on your show next time.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. It was wonderful talking. And this is Sylvia from Colorful Insight. Cheers.
Foresight.
Foresight. Sorry, Foresight.